This is not working very well fishing in the dark. Maybe if I shine the light at me, the headlamp at me, if that'll work better. You can sort of see me, not very well. We're out sturgeon fishing. This lighting is awful though. I'm gonna see if anybody shows up. I've caught 7 sturgeon so far, but I've had to work for them tonight. I guess I could bring the lantern over here. It might be a little better. The lantern needs to be pumped up, that's the problem. Who's even here? Yeah, I need an LED light bar. I have bolt lights, but they're not very bright. Hey Corey, Survival, how are you doing? I don't do that much night fishing. I just usually come out for sturgeon in the fall. I just caught one that was like 40 inches, which is the best I've got so far. That's all good, Corey. I was just curious who was going to be on. I'm not going to be on that long. Unless I happen to hook into a big one. Yeah, I caught like 7 sturgeon. The biggest one was like 40. I've been out here since like 8 though, so I've been out here for a while. There's 4 people that showed up. That's pretty good. All I have is a lantern. I think I'm fishing a little on the deep side for cats because I'm in like 18 feet of water right here. So I think it's a little on the deep side for cat. Hey, Rip and Tip Outdoors, not much. I'm just kind of bored sitting out waiting for the sturgeon to bite. So that's what I'm up to. I think I might be having one play with that one, or I have on too much weight. I move spots to where I need like 3 ounces of weight to stay on bottom, so it's like really hard to tell whether I have a fish on or whether I'm getting a bite or not. Because my weight's too heavy. Oh, this is just a lot of mess of junk. That's why it was pulling harder. Because there's a lot of current and I caught all this seaweed. See, this nice seaweed. This is what I caught. There's a lot of weeds in here because this river just flooded and came way up. Because I've been finding out the hard way and it keeps getting caught on my weights and that like pulls them up because there's so much current. Hey Lou Baca, have a good night. I think it's past anyone's bedtime. I'm surprised to see 5 people showed up here. I should really just bring like a gallon of coffee out one night and pull an all-nighter trying to fish for sturgeon. I think the latest I've stayed out is like 2. I'll need some more coffee before then though. Or alcohol. Not alcohol, because that would make me fall asleep. You're nice. Who got the flathead? Wow, that's a nice flathead. I got one sturgeon that was like 40 and then like 7 small ones. I'm by the Sock Dam. I've only caught one cat while I've been sturgeon fishing. It was a small channel. I don't have out any suckers though. I was thinking about buying some. Hey Steve Hillman, you're salmon fishing right now? Fun. You guys getting anything? A whole gizzard shad? I currently don't have any gizzard. I just have worms tonight, so I just came out to target sturgeon, so that's all I got for bait. Hey Uncle Jem, is everyone fishing in the dark? I don't know. There's like 15 people on shore here, and like there was like 5 other boats here. Now there's only one other boat by me and one downstream. Yeah, I know. I've seen a whole bunch of them when I went up shallow down from where I'm fishing, because I'm right below the dam here where I'm at now. So I know they're up shallow here and I could get some of them. Your Bud Lighting. It's a blast until you get a snag. I actually had to pull up my anchor and did get a snag a little while ago when I had on the sturgeon, and it moved me quite a ways. So that happens though. Like sturgeon or big cats, get your anchor rolled. Dirty Lubaka. How are you doing, Mr. Hard Charger? Thanks for stopping by. What's my favorite salmon lure? I don't know. Dodger and peanut fly for cohos. Orange Dodger and like a blue and silver or purple and gold peanut fly, like 18 inches back. But that's more of a spring bait. I don't know. I just trolled J plugs and spoons or crankbaits if I went out now. And run them off downriggers or dipsies if you're on Lake Michigan or Lake Core. I haven't done very well salmon fishing out there, so I'm not very good to get to advice. And we caught like 3 or 4 of them on a flasher fly and like 6 of them on a Dodger fly and 1 fish on a spoon. And the spoon color we caught the one on was a pink panties spoon. Come on, fish. Trying to get one to bite. Tiki torches and tiki dancers. That sounds like a fun time. I'm waiting for one to take it. I'm gonna do the stream until I catch one. Then I'm gonna stop. There's 11 people here. I'm surprised how many people are up this late. I'm just out fishing trying to catch the big sturgeon. I don't know, I think the biggest one I've caught was like 52 or 54 out here. And I'm hoping to get one bigger. I'm just out here fishing in the dark. I'm sorry the lighting is bad. I need to work on that. It's only 9:20. It's like 11:20 here, so it's pretty late. I figured more people on the West Coast would show up if I did a stream. I see some people on East Coast are still up though. Yeah, I got like 7 of them. One was like 40 inches. You'll post a picture of them on my Instagram, and I have some GoPro footage of it. I kind of got occupied fighting it though, so I didn't really do a stream of it. So that's how it went. I moved spots. I was just catching little ones, so I moved to a different spot and I got one decent one. And some small ones. So, but that's how it goes. It's tomorrow here? Yeah, it is. This weight is way too heavy for this rod I have. I think it's actually a duck decoy weight. Something was messing with it though. So that's how it goes. I don't know. I'm gonna go to a football game tomorrow afternoon. I might fish for a little while in the morning. I just got a mystery tackle box trout box, which I was gonna test out and see if I could get a fish on more than 2 baits from it or 3 baits from it. It's definitely an interesting box though. But it keeps me yeah. I just have a lantern right now. I usually haven't been doing that much night fishing actually. I could definitely use some better lighting though. Because when you get tangles, they're really hard to get out when it's dark out. Like now. I got it out though. Hey Irvin, thanks for stopping by. I'm just hanging out on the river, kind of bored, so I decided to do a live stream till I catch one, which they always aren't biting right now. So I don't know if I have or haven't. Have you guys caught any salmon yet, Steve? I really have the itch to go. I haven't went to the Great Lake Michigan like since June, July. I mean, and the last time we went, we hooked into 8 fish and we only caught 1 of them. It was a rough day, to say the least. But that's why it's fishing, not catching. Not going to catch anything if your line's tangled. The heck? Nice. Kings. So let me get caught up on this. The trout were biting good when I went out last week, and too, I caught like 20 of them. I still have another video to post of it. I posted one video from it. Most of the ones I got last week were small though. Nice. Other than the 14-inch brookie I caught last week, and all the browns were pretty on the small side. On Sunday, I kind of... Oh, thanks for stopping by, Corey. On Sunday, I had a farmer come and yell at me when I was waiting to stream in his land, and he told me to leave because I stepped onto his property. It was stupid of me, but that happens. So hopefully one bites soon. Why are they not biting all of a sudden? I'm trying to make sure my rods are on bottom because these sturgeon feed on bottom. And this is actually one of my salmon trolling rods I'm fishing with right now because I should have got my catfish rod out of the other boat. And I have like a 6'6" ugly stick with 30-pound braid, and I have this other catfish rod with 50-pound braid. And that's what I'm using for rods. And this has like a really old school reel on it, an old school Mitchell, so it's kind of not perfect. The clicker's actually broke on it, but it's worked so far. This like spider wire braid, it's not Stealth, it's their cheaper braid. I don't know what it's called, but it is horrible. It's like worn out and like flat and unbraiding after using it for like a month. It's not very good line. The Stealth is better, but it's whatever braid was cheaper than the Stealth. I still caught plenty of fish on it. Like I just caught a 40-inch sturgeon on it, and I caught like 5 muskies on it, but it still really wore out fast. A lot faster than it should be. I wonder if this live stream is being bad luck for me, because I haven't had a bite since the start of the live stream. I was getting robbed. I could use to get a little better setup for doing this though. It'd be nice if you could have a pontoon boat with like LED lights and a couch in it, and then just a big garbage can, and then you'd have a lot of space to move around. Cabela's brand braid. I think I bought some of that last year and it worked pretty well for me too. I think that's what's on this Mitchell rod reel, because I bought a spool of it, and it may be on my other bait caster, one of my trolling rods too. Yeah, that braid worked pretty well for me. I bought some Cast King braid off Amazon that seems to be pretty decent so far too. I was going to put that on one of the poles I was using for sturgeon fishing, but I never got it out of our big boat where all the salmon stuff is. So, but that seemed to work pretty well for me. This is like the worst braid. This spider wire stuff is like the worst line I bought. Braid I got. Yeah, the braid line is much better when you need to get a lot of weight down to bottom, or for like casting bait. So it's good to have good braid. And if you're like fishing on bottom, it gets nicked up really fast. So it doesn't last very long. Is this more weeds? No, that's just how much bait I have on there. Not getting bit. Hey, Eclipse Brewing, thanks for stopping by. I'm just out here trying to catch a sturgeon. Kind of bored, so I decided to do a live stream. Who said that? Hey, thanks for stopping by. I'm just out sturgeon fishing, hanging out. I decided to do a live stream. Check out Derisive brand. I'll check that out too next time. I need to buy some. I'll probably need to buy some soon. Hey, Night Random. I'm just out sturgeon fishing. Just screwing around. I'm sorry my lighting's bad. I need to work on this. This is turning into a long live stream, I guess. So I'm surprised there's 12 people here. A lot of people must be just chilling out tonight. It hasn't been as fast as that first day I was out sturgeon fishing. The first time I came out, I was like catching them one after another. Today it's slower, a lot slower. But that's why it's fishing, not catching. You're at home relaxing? I'll probably go home in an hour or two and have a mixed drink and some snack and then go to bed. I made like 5 gallons of salsa on Wednesday, which I was eating a whole bunch of, which I need to can tomorrow. And I might test out some of the baits in my mystery tackle box, trout box before I go to the football game. Me and my dad are going to the Badger football game tomorrow, which should be fun. Although it's probably going to be a blowout because they're playing BYU. They always have all these really weak non-conference games, which are kind of boring. You only buy 30 to 60 pound. I usually only buy like 30 to 80 pound. For my musky rods, I have 80 pound on them. For trolling like dipsy divers, we were using like 50 pound. And for bass fishing, I use like 30 or 50. I usually on like 8 or 10 pound line, I just use monofilament. Like for trout fishing, I usually just use monofilament, and then once it gets all spun up, I don't worry about throwing it out because it's cheap, and I just accept the fact that it gets all spun up. When you fish it in rocks, a really light braid wears out really fast anyways. If you're fishing baits up high, the braid lasts for really long though. Time. £20. 20 pounds is plenty heavy for bass unless you're frog fishing or fish punching a lot of slop. Usually if I have a bass rod, I use it for lightweight musky baits like this bigger Paula. Like I do well with sometimes this size of Rapala I have here. I know you can't see it very well, but it's like a J13 jointed, works well for muskies. And you can't really throw it on the musky rod because it's only like 5/8 of an ounce. So I'll use like 30 pound braid to throw that, or 20 pound braid. And that bait has worked really well for me for muskies. I've caught like 6 muskies on that bait. And it wobbles a lot. Or sometimes big husky jerks or like bigger palas will work for muskies too in the spring, especially if they're not eating big things. So you can't throw them on heavy muskie rod, or like a muskie Meps 5 muskie killer also is a good bait that you can't throw on a muskie rod. So sometimes I'll use like a spinning rod or a really light bass bait caster for muskie fishing. And like some places I fish, that works better than the actual muskie tackle. It just depends on what the fish are eating. Thirsty. Waiting for a fish to cooperate. It's taking a long time. All of a sudden. Like I've been on here for 26 minutes now and not caught one. It's kind of slow. I just have too much weight on this rod. I'm going to take some of the weight off. Oh, I have a good night, Northwest Open Season. Thanks for stopping by. I'll go check out your channel. I haven't checked out your channel in a while, too. I've kind of been slacking on checking out people's channel. I've been busy with work and just haven't been watching as much YouTube lately. So I don't watch everybody's videos. I try to watch everyone who comments on my videos. I usually will stop by and give them some watch time, but I don't necessarily watch everyone's videos or as many videos as I used to. I used to watch a lot while I was working, but now I've kind of been busy, and I'm probably going to be busier because I need to start applying for jobs soon, because I'm getting close to finishing up my PhD, or I'm going to finish it up in the spring of this year. So then I'll be moving on to something else. So between that and a lot of typing, I'm going to be really busy soon. I still like to go out fishing in my free time, and when I'm screwing around, I usually go fishing. Hence why I make all the videos. I went fishing for muskies. Yesterday morning and I didn't see a thing. I haven't been posting many muskie videos because I haven't been catching many. Are we actually getting a bite? Or are we moving? It's really tough to feel fish biting when you have a ton of current in the river. Something was messing with the worm. It must have been a little one. Like, it's really hard to tell when they're biting when there's a lot of current, because it's just like your rod's constantly moving, so it's hard to see the biting. No, I'm not done with school. I'm done with classes and I'm like a PhD candidate, but I still am working on typing up my dissertation and doing research for it. Oh, this is a dinky one. We finally have one on. I don't think it's very big though. We have one on. Here's a fish. It's not a very big one, but we finally caught one on this live stream. It's a tiny one. Yeah, I'm getting closer to finishing. This is like a 2-foot lake sturgeon. This is probably only 2 years old. Catch a big one. I caught one that was like 40 inches earlier. Most of the ones I've been catching have been a little bigger than that one I just got though. This live stream's been a tough one for me to get a fish on. It took me 30 minutes. 31 minutes actually, to be exact. I don't even know how much battery I have left. I'm just glad I got one on the live stream. I don't do that many live streams while fishing. It's easier for me to do them while fishing than like just sitting down, because I run out of things to talk to after like a half an hour. And I just kind of am bored. Because just sitting out here in the boat is kind of boring when you're not catching anything. But when you hook into a 40-incher where you have to pull up your anchor and pulls you around, it's pretty fun when you finally get that one. But you just got to work to get that one. This one feels better. Stay under the anchor rope fish. This one's not that big either. This one's a little bigger, but not that much bigger. Here's another one. I think they just swim around in schools of different sizes because it seems like you double up. This is the second time I've caught fish like back to back tonight. But then I'll go like a half an hour without catching anything. This one's hooked pretty good. Good thing I have my pliers, South Bend pliers. I don't have my Placino pliers here. But yeah, this one's not that big. I need bait though, so at least I got another one. Yeah, 2 fish. I don't know, fun. That's actually on a trolling rod too that I was just dropping over the side of the boat that has 20-pound Eagle Claw mono on it. I kind of like how the tip feels on it though, so on the trolling rod, because it has kind of a soft tip and a lot of give in it, which is kind of nice to see fish biting on it. The tricky thing with sturgeon is they like bite light and then they fight hard. So like they won't like bite that light, but then you hook into one and it's a lot bigger than you think it is. Or they'll give a riot of a fight once you have them on. I took a bunch of weight off this rod so I can feel it. Took 30 minutes to get a fish on the live stream, but we got 2, so I'm happy about that. I'm just fishing with worms right now. A whole night crawler on like some one or two like bass plastic hooks. That's what I'm fishing with for them. And I have on like 1.5 to 3 ounces of weight. You also can use like clams, and for like the white sturgeon, I think people use salmon roe out west. These are lake sturgeon I'm catching here. There's also shovel-nosed sturgeon in this river too. I haven't caught that many in this spot. In the other spot where I make videos downriver, I catch quite a few of them though at times. This section of the river is deep, but then it gets shallower downriver too, so the fish down there are a little different. There's quite a few smallies along the rocks up here, Ann. Yeah, so you have to get it down on the bottom. They're on bottom in deep water. They just feed. Actually, they did a study on them on the one lake in Wisconsin. The biggest thing they ate was chironomids, which are these really pollution tolerant insect that's really small, but the bottom of the lake will just be full of them. Like the midge flies people trout fish with, are like chironomid larvae. And they like to live in like stagnant water, but that's also a lake and not a river. But like if you took the rocks that are behind me where the dam is, which you can't see very well on my camera, you can just see the lights from it. But you could look at the rocks and they'd just probably be full of various nymphs of things that the sturgeon will eat a lot of too, and whatever else is on bottom. I've never really even looked at the stomach in one. I know when I look at the trout stomachs, I find some interesting things. Like some of the creeks I fish, they're full of snails. And the one I kept had sticks in it and some like vegetation matter in it, and they'll have like Japanese beetles and all sorts of interesting things. So I think fish, if they're hungry, will eat anything that's moving. Okay, well, I'm down to 4 people in the stream, and I don't want to use up all my data here. So I'm going to end this stream. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. It's been fun, and I caught 2 sturgeon on the stream. So, thanks, everyone, for watching. I'll do another live stream at some point in time. I don't know when. My lantern went out too, so I'll need to fix that. So everybody have a good night and safe weekend. Hope everybody catches some big fish. Thanks for watching.